Hi, today we're going to be talking about word problems. Now, we started word problems about a week ago, and we've worked on them previously, but we found a way that is a little bit more beneficial for our first graders so they can really understand what they're doing instead of just copying down the numbers. So for our word problems, if you're working on them at home with them and you don't know what to do because, it's kind of confusing for a first grader, then watch this video and think of some of the tips that I'm going to give you to help you out with them. What I'm going to be using today is my computer and the Google Classroom that I made for word problems, so you can kind of see the whole breakdown of what we do in first grade and how we teach them to really manipulate and analyze these word problems instead of just finding the two numbers and copying them down. So I'm going to pull over to my Google Classroom and you'll see what your kiddos do here at school. So here in the Google Classroom, I have made a word problem, and at the top in the gray box is the word problem, and then I've set up kind of an equation for them to help figure it out. So the word problem says, Mary had 18 fish in her tank. She moved 6 to her brother's tank. How many fish are in Mary's tank? So the first thing I would do if I was doing this as a class is I would cover up the numbers. So 18 is gone, and 6 is gone. Now, I do that. I take away the numbers because then it's not a distraction for my kids. They need to figure out what operation they're doing first. Now, before I continue with that, I'm going to show you down here how we set up, how we set up our equation down here. All we give the kids are 3 lines and 2 circles, and you don't even have to give them that. They know how to make an equation. It's just their job to figure out how to pull the numbers and how to pull their operations from the story to make an equation. So down here I have 3 spots for my 3 numbers that I'm going to be using. My first line is the start line, whatever number you're starting with in your story. My middle 9 is the change number, so however many your number is changing, your start number is changing. And my last line is the result, and we've already talked about this. Result is a vocabulary word. Result is how many is left or how many altogether. So your ending number. Then we have 2 circles here. These are for your symbols. Obviously, our first symbol is going to be either plus or minus here in first grade, and our second symbol is going to be the equal sign. But I don't put those in there automatically because my first graders have to learn how to decipher that by themselves. So after I cover up the numbers here, I'm going to have my student read it again. Mary had blank fish in her tank. She moved blank to her brother's tank. How many fish are in Mary's tank? Now over here I have a choice box. These are all of my symbols that I might have to use. I know my equal sign goes in this circle, so I'll go ahead and move that over. Then I have to figure out, am I adding or subtracting? After they read it without the numbers, I have them close their eyes and I have them imagine what's actually happening in the story. So go ahead and just practice with me. Close your eyes and I'll read the story to you. Mary had blank fish in her tank. She moved blank to her brother's tank. How many fish are in Mary's tank? So then we would talk about, what did you imagine? Did you imagine Mary making more fish in her tank, or did you imagine Mary taking away fish from her tank? And if they could get it correctly, then they would say that you are subtracting. So I'd go ahead and put my subtraction symbol in that circle. Then I can go ahead and get rid of my circles over top of my numbers, and we can start to think about where these numbers fit into my equation down here. So the first number I'm looking for is my start. This one's usually pretty easy because almost always it's the first number you see. Mary had 18 fish in her tank. So if I was a kid, I would go ahead and put 18 on that line. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger for you so you can actually see what I'm doing here. So 18 on that line. So Mary had 18 fish in her tank. That is my start number. Then I'm going to read the story again, starting from where I left off, and I'm going to see, is the next number I know my change to those fish, those starting fish, or is it my result, what I'm ending with? She moved 6 to her brother's tank. How many fish are in Mary's tank? So I know she moved 6, so that's changing my start number. So I'm going to go ahead and move 6 to my change number. Now I know it's 18 minus 6. Now this next step is very important because they need to know how to set up an equation. So how many fish are in Mary's tank? That's my result number, but that's also my unknown number. So I need to take my question mark and put it right there. That's showing them that this is the unknown number, that they don't know yet, that they need to figure out. Then, after they talk with you or use some manipulatives or a hundreds chart or whatever, they can take that question mark away. And I can then tell you that 18 minus 6 is 12. So she had 12 fish left in her tank. Okay, now let's go to another one. This one is a little bit more difficult because it's not so straightforward. This one's actually a missing addend one, which really hangs some kids up when they're starting to learn about this. So I'm going to go ahead and cover up my numbers, which I do first. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and read the story. Simon's mom gave him blank candy bars. He gave a few to his friends. Simon now has blank candy bars. How many did he give to his friends? Okay, so just like in the first equation, we're going to figure out what operation we're doing. So I'd have the kids close their eyes and I would tell them, imagine the story as I read it to you. Think about what Simon is doing. Simon's mom gave him blank candy bars. He gave a few to his friends. Simon now has blank candy bars. How many did he give to his friends? So, after they open their eyes, we can go ahead and pull down our equal sign, and then we can decide, are we adding or subtracting? Now, in this one, we know that Simon is subtracting because he gave those candy bars away. They are leaving him. So then I go ahead and uncover my numbers, and I'd read it again. Notice how many times we're reading the story. It's okay to read it 4, 5, 6 times. It's great. Simon's mom gave him 10 candy bars. He gave a few to his friends. Now, Simon now has 6 candy bars. How many did he give to his friends? So we're going to find our start, change, and result. As always, our start number is always very simple because it's our first number we see. 10. Simon started with 10 candy bars. Lucky Simon. So I'm going to put the 10 in my start position, and then I'm going to keep reading my story. He gave a few to his friends. There's my change sentence. It's changing my start number, but I don't know how much it's changing, so I'm going to pull down my question mark for my change line. Simon now has 6 candy bars. That's how many he ended up with. That's the total that he has at the very end of the story. So I'm going to put 6 over here for my result. How many did he give to his friends? So after you set up your equation with your question mark for your unknown number, you would take that question mark away, and using a hundreds chart, using counters, using your fingers, whatever you want to do, you're going to find out what number is missing. And I know that 10 take away 4 equals 6. That's how many candy bars he gave away. So don't be discouraged. This does take a little bit of practice, especially with your start, change, and result. Now, I do expect them to know those vocabulary words of start, change, and result, as well as operations and unknown number. They need to learn how to build an equation and then manipulate the information that they're reading so they can make that equation to solve their word problems. If you have any questions, let us know. Good luck. Thank you.